welcome to Cabinet on Tuesday, 2nd of October at 1 p.m. in the Council Chamber in Huddersfield. Membership of the committee, I've got apologies from Councillor David Sheard, Councillor Graham Turner and Councillor Masood Ahmed. Minutes of previous meeting, are they correct record? Thank you. Any interest from the Cabinet colleagues? Councillor Bill Amer, are you just here observing? Okay, no, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much for attending. Okay. Item 4, admission of the public. We've got. I think we've just got the press here. Tony, welcome. Yeah. Okay. There's a late and urgent item on the Cabinet portfolios, so I'll be making an announcement at the end. Hopefully it won't be a shock. I think I've spoken to everybody. Item 5, deputations and petitions. Any deputation petitions? Public question time. We haven't got any members of the public, so we'll move on to member question time. Bill, have you got any? No? Okay. Item 8, Council Budget Strategy Update Report 2019 and 22. Cathy, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. This report is a key part of the Council's annual planning cycle and is reported to Council early autumn each year. It sets a framework for the development of a draft spending plans for the future years. In a time of great uncertainty and around the funding of the Council in future years, it's also national and international events also having potential to impact on the Council's costs. This budget update takes a pragmatic view in light of all these uncertainties, and in particular with regard to the Council Reserve strategy and the inclusion of the sensitivity analysis on our medium-term budget forecast. It's important that we have flexibility within the budget to allow us to react to these uncertainties, and this update allows a degree of flexibility that we need at this time. Updated budget forecasts also take into account of current and future service and cost pressures. The Government has acknowledged that we are significantly underfunded Council in relation to high needs, but the extra £7 million high needs funding allocated by the Government through the recent National Funding Formula Review will only be released gradually over a 7-year period. There is a current and significant pressure on the service, and this is factored into the updated budget forecast. Significant demand and cost pressures in adult social care is also reflected in the future year budget forecasts. Government acknowledges that adult social care funding needs a long-term, sustainable national solution, but the release of the forthcoming Green Paper to consider the issue has been delayed now to the end of the year. We've included in our update plans to be prudent and assumptions that some additional funding for adult social care from 2019 to 2020 and future years, in the absence of any current or national government clarity. The major review of the capital plan requirement will allow us to ensure that future spending plans are correct ones, are affordable, and are ones that will allow us to invest without involving excessive risk, delivering major regeneration, housing growth and greater sufficiencies within the district for some of the most vulnerable residents. As with all budget updates, there is no certain amount of assumption made, and the assumptions made are reasonable and correct ones for the position that for the position we and the nation finds ourselves in at this moment in time. We believe that these assumptions set out in this report provide a sound basis for the officers to draft the budget proposals for the Cabinet and Budget Council consideration within a clear Council budget framework, and to ensure that our finances remain sound, that we can continue to deliver the Council outcomes within the resources we have available. Cabinet, you're asked today to support the recommendations set out in Section 7, but in Section 7, 7.1, 7.4, 7.6 and 7.8 will be referred to Council for their decision. So I ask Cabinet members to support this report.
Anybody seconding that? Thank you, Viv, for seconding that. Just one comment. The LGA recently announced that this year we'll see another hit on local government services, and their analysis shows that half the councils, that's around 168, will receive no increase in funding at all. They also said that the business rates pooling, which the government says will actually try and plug the gap, actually falls far short of what's needed. And it's estimated that across the piece there's going to be over 2,284 million cuts nationally, so that'll have an impact on us. So, I thank Councillor Graham Turner for making sure the books are balanced, but I'm sorry folks, there'll be more cuts next year, so we're still not through the storm, but thanks a lot for that report. Are we all agreeing to that report? Thank you. Item 9, Cathy, over to you again. Thank you.
This report comes before Cabinet to outline the policy which allows the Council to implement new powers of the civil penalties introduced by the Housing and Planning Act in 2016. This additional enforcement tool, which will be used alongside prosecution for a range of offences under the Housing Act 2004. The housing enforcement legislation will give the local authority the power to impose civil penalties as an alternative to prosecution for certain housing offences. Now, some of these housing offences are actually listed in the paper under Section 2, and it's failure to comply with an improvement notice, offences in relation to licensing of housing of multiple occupation, offences in relation to licensing of houses under Part 3 of the Act, offences in contravention of an overcrowding notice, and failure to comply with the management regulation in respect of HMOs. The raising of the civil penalty notice is going to rise up to 30,000. This is to stop landlords who flout the law, that won't be told that the actual housing that they're offering is not of a suitable condition. And they need to start taking this seriously. They have a duty to provide good quality private and rented accommodation. The policy is required to determine the appropriate level of civil penalty, and in particular in this case. So the policy is agreed within the West Yorkshire authorities. It's going to be done across it. We have worked together with other officers of other councils, so I ask Cabinet to support this.
Right, Peter, second it. Thank you. Are we all okay with that? Any comments? Thank you, members. Item 10. Item 10 is here. I actually questioned this right here, that we've not. I can't recall having this, but the correct procedure after council, if the questions are asked and answered, is to bring them here. And the members who put the questions forward should also be here. But I don't think I haven't attended. Yeah, so the questions now, they just fall off. Yeah. Okay, thank you. The announcement I was going to make is around the Cabinet. Many of you will know that Councillor Erin Hill unfortunately has tendered a resignation, and that's as of this week. Whilst I'm very sorry that she's submitted a resignation, I completely understand and accept her wishes. But she can be genuinely proud of the achievements as a cabinet member she achieved whilst being here. I want to also put on record my thanks to her contributions, but as a leader it remains a priority for me, and I'm sure a priority for Viv as well, who's done a marvellous work, and the cabinet, that children's services will be a priority. I know that Erin set some solid foundations, and we will continue to work on that. On the back of that, I've decided that we're going to keep the Cabinet to 9, and as a result, I've just done some minor changes to the Cabinet. So basically, I won't be appointing a 10th Cabinet member. So as of today, Councillor Muscan will be Cabinet member for Health and Social Care, and Councillor Cassie Scott will be Cabinet member for Housing and Democracy, which will mean that the work that Cassie has already been doing anyway around democracy and a commission in her portfolio, that'll become officially hers. I believe that the realignment of the portfolios will put us in a good place to actually achieve our ambitions, and together we'll achieve our ambitions and develop our place, people and partnership corporate plan. So that's my announcement. Thank you very much, members. Any questions? Kathy?
Chair, I'd just like to say a thank you to Councillor Hill for all her input on Cabinet, but obviously being a new mother, time with the child, you know, and I think she should embrace that as well. I'm looking forward to be a vocal backbencher, because no doubt she'll keep us in order. So I wish her well.
Thank you, members. And Cabinet is now closed, and I think we've got a training session. So we've got a few minutes to have a break, and there'll be a training session. Thank you.